Hello, and welcome back again. Today, I'm going to be playing Tiny Rogues. It's Wednesday, so that's what I'm going to be playing. I unlocked the Bard last week, or before last week, so that's what I'm going to be playing this time. I figured out that this poison-filled jar, which is one of the gifts you can start with, seems like the only consistent way to get 4 infusions at once to unlock the Magus, so I'm going to be carrying this until I have 3 others. But it's going to go how it is. But while playing this, I will try and talk about like some of the ancestries in Pathfinder 2nd edition specifically. They might be the same in 1st edition, I don't know. But within the 2nd edition of Pathfinder, which I actually have some of the books for and I've read some of, like, there's a lot of cool ancestries, which ancestries is the term they've opted to use for like races. So like elf, dwarf, goblin, gnome, those types of elements in a role-playing game. And I think what makes the Pathfinder ones potentially, I think, interesting to talk about is how, like, from a story perspective, I think it's a lot more concrete and more fleshed out, at least within the rule books, than the races and such in D&D, or at least 5th edition D&D. And like a lot of this, there's a significantly larger, there's a greater diversity of, well, ancestries slash races in the world that exist, with there being like at least half a dozen different varieties of elf. There's several varieties of gnomes, whereas D&D, at least 5th edition, has like 2 varieties of elf. Well, no, I think technically it has 3 varieties of elf, if you include drow. And like, I think, sure, personally I think that's a positive. Like, there's more variety in the world, there's a lot more to tell. I think it also does a great job of having some of the, like, I think it's a much more interesting world. Like, at least within the rulebooks, it goes into significantly more detail about backgrounds, and the various ancestries have I'm gonna die on this run. There's significantly more information provided, being like, about where people come from, where they've been, and like, I think that's very valuable, because it just makes it more, there's more story that exists. Like, one example, there's a few that I was planning to talk about. One good example is how elves in the setting are explicitly aliens from another planet. Like, they've been around on Galarian, which is the primary world for Pathfinder. But like, they've been around in Galarian for a very long time. They left for a bit after a major event occurred, but they were not from this planet originally. They didn't they didn't evolve on Galarian. They come from, I have the book with me, they come from another planet called... Come from Sovirian, just some other realm entirely. And like they traveled through a magic portal to get to Galarian in the distant past. And it was, I think it's more interesting than just elves are people that exist. Like there's other interesting, like gnomes in the setting are actually I think a very interesting concept. With like gnomes are established to be oh, I can use my healing potion actually. I just remembered about that fundamental component of this game. Okay, it's V. Okay, I totally forgot about that because it's never relevant. But the gnomes in the world of Galarian weren't originally from Galarian either. They were originally... They came from... They came from what is called the First World, which I think is based... I don't know if it's still the same world. There's a whole lore about the Galarian realm and how like it has reset in the past and it's going to reset in the future. I don't think that is specifically limited to I don't think that's I don't think the gnomes, the first world which the gnomes come from, I don't believe that that is the first world in the sense of the first world before it regenerated. I think it's just the Fey realm, basically. The realm of fairies and similar. Ooh, I need that. Not right now, but eventually. And like, because they come from this whimsical land, and they've been cut off entirely, they now have to have a new source for whimsy, otherwise they lose color, bleach, and die. Like, but like, as long as they maintain like curiosity and novelty, I think it's basically they do live forever, basically, or they practically speaking live forever until they bleach, which the bleaching occurs when they lose drive, lose curiosity, and there's nothing that they are interested or curious about anymore. And I think it makes for a lot of potential for a story, and like it makes it so you can have a character that has any number of potential motives, whereas there's plenty of stories that have gnomes, but they're just small and they like crafts. They don't justify it by some intrinsic, if they don't like embrace curiosity and searching, they will die. And since there's also an element of they don't necessarily die, it's just they almost always die. I'm pretty sure this doesn't apply to this. Yeah. Ooh, I need mana crystals. I'm trying to get the 10 mana crystals for the wizard as well. But I got distracted a little. I should have gone to the shop probably to check for infusion-based stuff. Well, but what I was trying to think about is like the... Oh my goodness, bad luck. I have one of both. Let's replace my boots. Like, the gnomes are very interesting. I think there's a lot. It adds a driving force, potentially, to characters in a reasonable way. Oh, that's just bad. I shouldn't have gotten hit there. Am I cursed? I don't think so. 1 per gold. Sure, that's more interesting than that. Yeah, the gnomes and very interesting. There's tons of different types of gnomes that I haven't read all about because it's less... I'm not super invested in reading about the individual varieties because, as important as they are, it's just I haven't had the time, and there's other more interesting to me stuff to read. I feel like I kind of have to take that. I think I've seen that and I don't like it. That just seems bad compared to my current weapon. Though more gold, so I might take this one. Yeah, I don't love it. I mean, it hits hard. That's good enough. Yeah, if it has slightly more range, it would be good. But yes. Oh, does it actually? I don't think it owns. Resin, perfect. Can I get more than one? No, I can't even get one. Oh, I can get one. Perfect. Shh, lightning, good. Oh, can I equip that? No, it needs to attune. Should I have kept it on? Yes, I regret it now. Let's just swap this. Actually, I don't think it's worth swapping right now. What can I get rid of? Get rid of that. Actually, I'm not getting rid of it. I'm just putting it away temporarily. See, the only one I can buy is that. So all I need is fire infusion, and then I'll be good. Need to go back to what I was trying to focus on. Ancestries in... Oh, I should get potions. Too late. But Ancestries in Pathfinder. I think another positive for me about some of the ancestries is like there's a changeling ancestry, and I think there's... Oh, that's a good crit chance. I think that D&D also has a changeling ancestry, but my impression of it, which is fairly limited, but I shouldn't have been hit there. I'm gonna die because I'm bad. My impression of the changeling ancestry in D&D specifically... I'm just gonna leave those. I'm not gonna leave those. I'm gonna die on my next turn. My impression of the D&D changeling ancestry is that they are just shapeshifters. I don't think it specifically follows like existing folklore of changelings being fey creatures who have been swapped with a child, and like the changelings in the Pathfinder world are that type of creature, which I think is it is just a pre-existing fiction, but I do think it's more than just, oh, calling something a changeling and it's just something that can shapeshift is not very It's less oh, I remembered again, I can just heal. So I'm not one hit away. But calling something a changeling just because it's basically a doppelganger. Which, like, if it's gonna just be a doppelganger-y type thing, just call it a doppelganger. Though I could be misjudging the D&D changeling. But it's mostly, I like that some of the stuff in the Pathfinder stuff is drawing from more broader sources, as opposed to just, like, one mythos. Potions. Like, part of that, there was another example that I felt did a good job. I think I can heal here potentially, yes. There was another part that, yeah, like in the not monster manual, the bestiary, there are lamia, which I would say in more recent, it's in any pop culture that I personally know anything about. Lamia has tended to take a lamia is human upper body, snake lower half, but this has, checking Wikipedia, it appears that that is not the only, like, lamia definition. Like, lamia also are just monstrous lower half, and not just snake lower half, and so there are multiple types of lamia that have stat blocks, and it's nice that it's not just one element that is being applied. It's fun. Other ancestries that I think are interesting, though not for thorough, I don't have thorough information, I haven't read all the entry about it, but I like the Pathfinder has leshies, which are basically, they are fey creatures that sort of take the form of plants, sort of. And, like, I mostly mean this sort of because they don't really take the form of a plant, they just have plant traits. But they're not always humanoid, but they're much more humanoid than plant-shaped, based on the designs that accompany the introduction. Okay, what am I? 5 gold anytime you go through the right door. The right door? Or the correct door? I'm assuming it's right. Okay. Okay, I need one more infusion. Let's just sell stuff. I'm at 5. I need a bunch more. Perfect. I'm gonna save popping everything until it will be the last floor, though. I should just pop it all now in case I die. I must likely die if I go here. But the leshy creatures, they're fey creatures. They're just sort of animal. They're plants. And I find that, like, they're cute. Though, in the... oh. What is it? The character guide? Yes, in the character guide book, There's a fungal leshy. I'm popping it now in case I die. There's a fungal leshy, and it is pretty... I mean, it fits fungal, for sure. And it's not cute. But it is still very aesthetically pleasing as a species to introduce that isn't just a monster species. Like, it's humanoid related. Like, it's a player character and it's not monstrous. I mean, it certainly looks like it's kind of monstrous, but it's not like, oh, it's, well, I mean, centaurs are pretty humanoid too, but there's plenty of... This front's not going much further. I think this is gonna be my first loss in a while, because I'm just not mentally able to pay as much attention as I should be. Don't know why. Though there is a bunch of counter-death mechanics. I don't necessarily die. 'Cause I think I died last turn, but... This is gonna stall my death. This is gonna stall my death. Tavern might save my life. I actually shouldn't have drunk that if I was gonna come to the tavern. I don't think I need an upgrade. Just do that because why not? But there's a few other ancestry things that I think are neat. I mean, it definitely doesn't stack because it's just one consumable. I mean, it has lizard folk as a properly established thing. There's specifically a crow person. Well, actually, I can't remember. I think Tengu are specifically crows. Though I might be wrong. It could just be that it's birds and it's often crows. Which, like, with Tengu being... I think it's Japanese, but it could be Chinese. As, like, a... Not just pulling from Western mythos for... Wait, I'm on floor 9, I'm still not max level. It's not just pulling from Western mythos and stuff for the character and race / ancestry designs. It's kind of neat. I haven't read enough about most of the ancestries to talk much more, but I can talk a bit about how the game handles like heritages. With like a heritage is not like you can be in the Pathfinder series of games, specifically game context, you can be any, like, every single race or ancestry can every ancestry can be like a tiefling or tiefling, however you want to pronounce it. And like those sorts of things that are not some inherent... I think I prefer that. I don't want to pay souls, but I think I prefer that to the one I'm using. Which I wish I could go back and upgrade it, but... Oh yeah, that's way better. It might not be better against the boss, but at least against mob enemies, it's way better. HP. So let's just test this. Okay, yeah, against bosses this one's better, but against mobs the other AoE's better, for sure. I got hit. I didn't press space because I was out of stamina. But I have more health now. Okay. Yeah, like heritages are broader. Which I think allows for... This is more gameplay as opposed to lore and story context, but... That seems really good. Oh, but I need the mana. Because now I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I get maybe one more int, I get one more star, and then this will work. So swap that. No, E. Equip that. I need one more. Let's hope that this is enough intelligence. I'm not sure if it is. Perfect. 10. Great. Now I think I've unlocked the Magus and the other one called... I will have unlocked the Magus and the... Oh, what's the other one called? Magus and the Wizard. Which is good. +1 luck, random rewards. Yeah. Like, mechanically, the way Pathfinder handles heritages, which are sort of a different variety of subclass, is super interesting. I'm gonna stick with this just because it's safer. It's interesting how it handles it. And it allows for more variety. I mean, I should still be able to kill him even if I tank all of his damage, or most of his damage. Good. That's done. 2 more unlocks. Success. Oh, and I might get an achievement because this took less than 30 minutes. Because I think there's an achievement for it being sub 30 minutes. That was a terrible run, but also a very strong run. I played terribly, but the run itself was very strong by the end. The Wizard. Oh, cool. So you want to spam elemental infusions so that when it expires, you get a stat bonus. Which means that the buff, if you want to take advantage, wait, no, this is the Mystic, not the Magus. But you don't want to take the ability, if you want to take advantage of the permanent stat bonus, you don't want to take the ability that makes them last forever, because you're done. But, depending on what the additional buffs are, you might want to take it anyway. That seems interesting. And then the Wizard. So just more damage from mana. And then slower degeneration of said mana. Starting with 1 HP. Okay, unlocking. I've already unlocked that, but I can re-clear that and that. So, I finished that plan. Enables mana. Assortment of dice. Convert souls into soul hearts. Recover 1 heart. That's a consumable. Absolution. Repairs armor. And replenishes itself. That's pretty neat. Mana elixir. I would probably want that for this mage wizard run. Do I do another run? I'll try to do another run quick. Because that first one was pretty quick, and if I die early, then I'll stop. So this character's all about mana stars. I hate this weapon. Hey, 2 intelligence in a row. Oh, I have no bombs. This start has been good and bad. Intelligence is nice to grab a bunch of. But I haven't gotten any consumables. Keys or bombs. Or no, I haven't gotten any keys now. I want to go to the event, because events are very strong. Potentially. Just pure mana. I should probably go for the key, but sure. This is not good because it doesn't work with mana. But I think short term it will be better. Honestly, it might be better, but it kind of just feels kind of bad. Because the mana gives me so much more damage. Well, not so much more damage, but so much damage from mana that it actually might not be worth it to use that just because I get plus 60% when I'm at full mana. But I think about other stuff. Oh yeah. I guess I've moved on to trying to talk about the mechanics side of things for a bit. And like how... Oh, tip 1. Yeah. I'd rather have more keys. But I was trying to think of... So mechanically, I like how between D&D and Pathfinder, Pathfinder has so many more like well codified, like I'm gonna say races. It's ancestries and heritages and all that, but like it does a great job of... I think I want that one. 4 attacks per second, 200 range, shorter range, 5 attacks per second. This is better damage per second, and they explode on death. This is probably better. Oh, it's a beam. That's worse. It's not actually worse, I just don't like it. Okay, no, it pierces, so that's fine. If it didn't pierce, then it would not be okay. It moves a little slowly. But yeah, mechanically, Pathfinder 2 has so many... Like, it has, like, Dampier, like the vampire... half vampires, and... Oh yeah, I'm poor. I've just been getting intelligence. Like, it has those, it has ghosts as a, like, properly structured race. Ancestry. It has plenty of other... It has a lich. It has a method to become a lich that I don't think D&D has in the same... At least not in as well established that players could theoretically do it kind of way. And like, that opens up a lot of options for characters to be whatever you want. Now, of course, liches and stuff are kind of unique. Yes, definitely Dark Souls. like, you wouldn't become a lich without your DM letting you. So it would be a very structured path to becoming a lich, but it would be an interesting story to tell that I don't think is possible without creating your own stuff for D&D. Okay, I'm getting so much intelligence gain. It's absurd. Like, it's just intelligence after intelligence. I mean, double the damage bonus from mana. Just destroy everything, easy. I should get potions, but I want... Yeah, I think I should get potion. I need more gold. I like this weapon. The explosions of poison are pretty good. The damage here is very solid. More intelligence. I don't have money. See, that's so good. Like, yeah, mechanically there's a lot of interesting stuff for Ancestries in Pathfinder. And I think it creates a fun world, and it creates a more mechanically diverse selection of, you know, characters. It's like, I'm just bad. I don't think there's a huge degree of variety for elves in D&D. Like, there's high elves, wood elves, dark elves. I think that's pretty much it. I don't think I need a new weapon, but I don't really want to go for keys. I mean, that's probably worth it. Oh, that's funny. This is probably better. Oh yeah. And with that, ooh, good combo. It's probably better overall because its range is a little higher, and the AoE's not just a line. Lightning, more damage, and more damage taken. I want defense. Intelligence proficiency would be nice. Nope, AoE. I'm getting so much intelligence, it's absurd. I'm gonna make sure that, yeah, AoE does not influence the beam. I didn't think it would, but there was a non-zero chance. You know what? Let's just be safe. Let's waste this and just stay full. Let's not consume a key. Because apparently you can bomb chests. What does it do? I got a soul heart. Totally worth it. Gold. Do I need this? Yes, let's go here. Yes, mechanically, there's a lot of interesting stuff. And then I can swap back and forth there. What does it do? Every 10 seconds gain sugar rush for 10 seconds. Okay, no, that would have to be regularly swapping back and forth. I don't think it's necessary, but I'm not gonna bomb that, so... Oh yeah, that's definitely better. What? Yes, the Ancestries and Pathfinder are fun. I think there's a lot more variety. Oh, what are cool other interesting ones that I can remember off the top of my head, because currently I'm just kind of trying to focus on clearing this game again without it taking very long. Tavern. Oh, actually, do I have any absolution? If I do, then the shrine might be worth it. Duration, resources, suppression, no absolution. No, that's a consume. Oh, I thought I hit no. Guess I lost 50 gold. Well, nothing I can do about that now. I need bombs. The strength is maybe worth more, but I don't have any bombs. Okay. More keys. Items. I have no money. Because I lost it all because I misclicked. I mean, that's just not good, but... what am I trying to think about? Okay, give me something good. I mean, they don't seem bad, but... More damage per soul heart, more health. I would take this. The old vitality was overpowered. This new vitality seems much more balanced. Gain more damage per current. Let's take one more chance. Yes, I think quick cast will be better. This seems really good. It is really good, but I think I'd rather focus on taking advantage of the actual damage number that I get. This could definitely be better. Wrong direction. I didn't dodge in that direction. At least I didn't mean to, obviously. Some of the patterns of bosses are a little straightforward. Faster stamina recovery. I mean, I might as well carry that instead of this. Because at least it sells for more, I assume. Money. Ooh, that was just bad by me. I shouldn't have gotten hit there. Let's check for a new weapon. So this is less attacks per second. I mean, it could be better. Let's get rid of that. Put this here. That might be better. The numbers don't necessarily tell the whole story. I would say for this setting, it might actually be stronger to use this instead of the other one. Because the AoE is a little... the damage is definitely better on this. Like, to a major degree better. Though the range on this is pretty good. Lightning might be better, I'm not sure. Just blow this up. Oh, actually, what might help the lightning is the status effect it applies. So if I have this, when I use that infusion, I think this will be slightly less valuable. The lightning does seem to be better. Oh wait, there's a status of, like, I think there's some element of some, like, enemies do have, like, elemental weaknesses that you can account for. So it might actually be worth a lot more against, you know, a ocean kraken to use an electric weapon. I'm gonna get hit. I didn't. I'm shocked. Okay. Progress. More health, always good. I need more stats. I need more strength to get more HP. Because I'm at 20 int, 2 strength. Like, I've gotten so many upgrades to my strength. It is intelligence, it's absurd. See? Just intelligence everywhere. I need strength. Potion or dice? Potion. Oh, I'm just not paying attention. Just consume that. Bomb or money? Money. Briefly open book to my left. Oh yeah, like there's, yes, some of the ancestries that exist are definitely more controversial than others. Like I can 100%, the negative is too much of a negative. But some of the Pathfinder ancestries are very justifiably, like, not used by people. Like there's an android ancestry, like techno android, not some magical golem equivalent of an android, but like an electrically powered, though it might actually be more magic than electricity sort of, but like they're clearly androids, which is very easy to see why people might not be the biggest fan of it in what they are looking for as like a fantasy setting. But I think it's neat that it's willing to set up their story as that. I don't think there's anything wrong with being against having that type of stuff in your fantasy setting, but I also don't think there's anything wrong having it. Especially since mechanically Pathfinder does a good job of like justifying DMs not allowing their players to use certain ancestries or classes. I can't see because too many explosions. Like, they have a system in place of some ancestries slash classes slash skills spells are rare, are uncommon or rare, which is meant to mean if your DM doesn't want this in a game, accept that they don't want it in the game and don't fight them over it, because it's just like, there are things that are very likely to not fit with intended stories. Like, if they're telling a story set in a purely fantasy world, they don't want androids. That's very reasonable. I still want to see what it does, but I don't need it. And like, that's more important, I imagine, for if you're playing, like, structured play. I don't remember what it's officially called. I know in D&D it's like Adventures League, but like, if you're playing with people that you don't personally know and who you can't trust to accept your ruling of no androids, and then they would just complain about it, but you don't know them, so you can't deal with that in the same way as if you knew them personally. And having those sorts of things expressly ruled upon makes it a lot easier to say, yeah, the reason we don't allow this is because it's just not common. It's not, there's nobody in this region who is an android. I think that's reasonable, it's nice. Let's sell stuff. I kind of want to keep it, but it's not good. Candy one. What's this at? 3. This is at 3. They're both at 3. I don't think I want to consume that right away. And yeah, it does seem like it is worse damage than the lightning. +1 all stats. I shouldn't have gotten hit there, I'm bad. Okay. I'm gonna get absolutely ruined on the next floor because I'm poisoned. Like that, having those sorts of, hey, these are rare is nice. There's also another ancestry that's neat is fetchlings, who are like, is something along the lines of their ancestors were brought to like a shadow plane, and so they adapted to being very shadowy, which is neat. There's flesh warps, which are a... Oh yeah, do I heal less when I'm poisoned? Neat. That was a waste. Unless that's all poison does now. If all poison does now is make it so you don't heal as much, I'm okay with that. If it does, you don't heal as much, and you take damage, it would be a pain. Just so much intelligence. What? Yeah, flesh warps are neat because they're, as their name implies, their flesh has been warped. So this is not... This is 1.5 times 0.75. It's not... It is an upgrade in damage, but it's not huge. I think I'd rather go for this against the boss. And I'll check this for a potential weapon. I mean, that might be better. It's gonna be more useful than either of the other two. Oh yeah, I hate it. It's so bad. I just consumed something I didn't intend to. Okay, that might be good against this type of enemy. Buy items, sure. B or lower. So this is bad because all the weapons I'm using have higher than B, so this is useless. So 1 heart is worth a lot more. Okay, 27, 13. I think those are both worth swapping for. This doesn't seem faster, but it seems easier because I don't have to aim. Well, I have to aim, but like the precision on the aim is significantly reduced. What is this? This is corruption is each stack increased damage taken and can only be applied 1 per second. I only have wizard ones. Get another key. Probably a waste to get another key, but this weapon might not be the right choice. Helmet's not great, but it's not bad. Okay, I think it might be better damage. I think for now this is actually better damage, which in turn might mean that this would be better damage. I need to get this all set up. I think I consumed something there that I didn't mean to consume. On dash, summon a pigeon. That one's very good, actually. I think the pigeon summon is actually worthwhile because it just hits really hard. More healing. Probably not worth it to just use it right away, but I can get more intelligence. Okay, let's drop this, take that. Progress. Tavern. I could get a little bit of healing, I guess. And then I could upgrade. I don't have enough money. That was just bad. I should not have gotten hit twice there. That was just terrible play. I do think this weapon is not an upgrade in damage, but if I just shoot randomly, it works better. No. Like, at least for against mobs, I don't need to actually aim. I just need to shoot in the general direction. I think lightning is better, and it gives me another heart. Let's see how this consumable works. Huh. It actually just chases him. That's pretty good. That's actually very good. If it lasts for... no. It did wear out. That was just bad play. I should be able to win this. That lightning bottle was actually significantly better than I was expecting. There, good. Decent run. Quick run. Sure. That's probably a bad choice, but it doesn't matter though, because this runs over. Pretty good run. Yes, I totally forgot that I knew. Like, flesh warps, their flesh is warped. There's multiple reasons they could be one. Like, they have heritages, which, like, created flesh warp. Mutated flesh warp. Shape rot flesh warp, which is someone forcibly warping their flesh. And technological flesh warp. There's lots of interesting, different little concepts. There's people who are part genie, which have different varieties based on different, you know, Ifrit, self, other types of things. Undine. Kitsune, it's like fox people who can shapeshift to look human. Oh, and then there's sprites. explicitly a race that is tiny in size. So like small, like normally like a dwarf or a gnome is small. Sprites are tiny, and they explicitly ruled that a sprite can ride another player character, but the consequence of that is that they both only get 2 actions on their turn. But it's super neat, and like what a sprite being that's tiny, who is a I think it's barbarian in this. It's either barbarian or berserker. I think it's one of those. It's probably barbarian. There's a giant there's a specific path that's focused on being a giant. So a sprite that is tiny can use the barbarian's rage power to become large despite being tiny, and they become humongous and stuff. It's kind of neat, and like gameplay wise it's cool. And that's the end of today. I got distracted near the end because that second run was fairly good. Next week when I play this again, I'll be playing the Mystic. So I have a 9-game win streak. I have not been using cinders. At some point I'm going to try to get all the cinder stuff, like get 2 runs at 16 cinder or something to get the 32 streak. Although if it's just a 32 streak, then all I need to do is win, 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 and then I'll probably be at it if I win the 3 in a row. But that's for next week. I will probably be back tomorrow and not Friday this week because Friday I'm busy. Tomorrow I'm going to try a different game, like I think it's called Ozymandias, that I've tried a tiny bit of. That's neat. It's not a roguelike, and I'm very bad at it, but it's a cool game. Be back. Bye.